So, hello student, very good morning to everyone. In the last lecture, we have started with the new unit that is number 2, and in that we have started with the chapter that is 2.1.1 analgesic and antipyretic drugs. So, in the last lecture, we have started with this new chapter that is analgesic and antipyretic drugs. So, you know that analgesics are the central nervous system depression which brings about the insensibility to pain without loss of consciousness, that is called as analgesic drug. And antipyretic drugs, uh, it is a drug which is responsible for lowering temperature of a human being or animal having fever to normal but has no effect on normal temperature state, that is called as antipyretic. Then uh, then we had learned that on the basis of analgesic potency, the difference in the development of dependence and the tolerance, analgesics are divided into two classes, that is narcotics and non-narcotics. So narcotics which strongly act on CNS, and non-narcotics which mildly acts on a PNS. So uh, this narcotics, analgesics. So these narcotics are derived from opium, which is a dried milky exudate of unripe seed capsule of species plant Papaver somniferum. And the opium alkaloids exist in two classes. Opium alkaloids exist in two classes, that is phenanthrene and benzyl isoquinoline. Under the class of phenanthrene, morphine, codeine, thebaine, heroin are there. Then benzyl isoquinoline, papaver and noscapine is there. Then the next class is non-narcotics, so which is mildly act on a PNS. It is called as peripheral nervous system. So it's classified into depending upon the structure, chemical structure, classified into these classes: cyclohexanol derivative, example tramadol; salicylate and their derivative, example aspirin; para-aminophenol derivative, example paracetamol or phenacetin; pyrazolone derivative, phenyl beta butazone; phenyl acetic acid derivative, diclofenac; indol derivative, indomethacin; propionic acid derivative, ibuprofen; phenamates, mefenic acid. So that these are the points that we are covered in the last lecture. So students, today we are going to learn important synthesis of non-narcotics drugs, that is the tramadol, which is a cyclohexanol derivative. And this these are the recent drugs used as analgesics, and these are the derivative of cyclohexanol. And it produces analgesic action similar to opiate, and it is formed as a mixture of cis and trans, and the trans isomer is actually analgesic, and it is used, and this tramadol is a more is a potent analgesic and used in the severe physical pain. So this the synthesis of this tramadol divided into two steps, that is step 1 and steps 2. Separate synthesis of this and the separates in the for once this molecule is synthesized, then this will react with this molecule. So in the first step, what happen, the salicylic acid is reduced to give 2 hydroxy cyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid. So this salicylic acid on catalytic hydrogenation reduction, so hydrogen add to this carbon carbon double bond, and you will get this 2 hydroxy cyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid. Then which on oxidation with chromic acid, which on oxidation with chromic acid to give you will get this 2 oxacyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid. Then in the second step, this 1 bromo anisole is converted into Grignard reagent. So this is a Grignard reagent, and this Grignard reagent on treatment with what this So the condensation reaction or the reaction of these two molecules takes place, that is Grignard reagent and 2 oxycyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid, and then you will get this product, and that product on reaction with dimethyl, this is your dimethyl amine, followed by reduction with lithium aluminum hydride, you will get this tramadol. So the synthesis is very simple one. So the synthesis of tramadol starts with salicylic acid. Salicylic acid reduced to give 2-hydroxycyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid, which is on oxidation with chromic acid to give 2-oxycyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid. Then in the step 2, 3-bromoanisole is converted into Grignard reagent and then condensed with this molecule. The product on treatment with dimethyl amine, followed by reduction with lithium aluminum hydride, gives tramadol. So this is the simple synthesis. Now we'll see uh, the reaction mechanism. So that is how this during the formation of product, how bond formation and bond breaking takes place. So know that the reaction mechanism is nothing but that is a step by step explanation of reaction. So this is the synthesis of tramadol. It's a multi-step synthesis. So we'll see each step in a detail. So how the bond formation and bond breaking takes place during the formation of product. So this is the interface of your ChemDraw. So let me change the orientation of this page, portrait to landscape. So in landscape will get a page is larger, so it is easy for me to write all the structure in a one page. So a synthesis, so we'll write here a reaction mechanism first. Reaction mechanism. So its synthesis start with salicylic acid, which, so this is the structure of your salicylic acid, and its IUPAC name is 2-hydroxybenzoic acid. Then this salicylic acid or 2-hydroxybenzoic acid on reduction, catalytic reduction, that is for example nickel metal in presence of, so these are reducing reagent which reduces the carbon carbon double bond. So here in the first step what happens, the hydrogen is added in this carbon carbon double bond. So let me show you how that hydrogen will add. So consider this your double bond. Okay, so hydrogen, so this hydrogen will add to this carbon carbon double bond, carbon carbon double bond. Okay, and it reduces that. Same way this double bond will also reduce. Then this this one also reduce. And after reduction you will get So during the reduction in presence of nickel and hydrogen, will add the hydrogen is added to this carbon double bond. It converts this alkene into alkane, and the name of this compound is it's a 2-hydroxy cyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid. 2-hydroxy cyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid. Then next step is this 2-hydroxy cyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid. The oxidation reaction takes place in presence of chromic acid. Chromic acid oxidation reaction takes place. Chromic acid, the structure of chromic acid is this one: oxygen, OH, oxygen. Now we are having your hydrogen, which so now the hydrogen, there is a positive charge on. Now next step is simply, so here one hydrogen is there, on this carbon there is hydrogen is there. So I will show that hydrogen like this. So once so before starting the step 2, so in the first step what happened, it says simply the reduction of your salicylic acid. Reduction of this salicylic acid takes place, that is catalytic reduction, hydrogenation in presence of nickel NH2, and you will get this reduced product after the reduction of the salicylic acid. The next step is the reduction, the oxidation of this hydroxyl group into ketone by chromic acid. So this chromic acid is oxidizing agent, it oxidizes hydroxy group. So here the oxygen having lone pair of electron, that lone pair of electron attack on this chromium, and because this chromium are attached to 4 electron withdrawing group 4, so this chromium become electropositive, so this will act as a nucleophile, will attack on this electrophile, the bond will break, the bond pair shift on oxygen, so negative charge in the step. The next step, that O minus takes, or the oxygen anion takes proton from this hydrogen oxygen and stabilize that oxygen. The next step is simply the this OH having lone pair of electron, that lone pair of electron takes this hydrogen, the bond pair will shift here, and simply the breaking of this OCR bond, and this group will act as a leaving group, and you will get your product, that is 2-oxycyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid. Now in step 2 what happened, in step 2 your 3-bromoanisole 3-bromoanisole. So the structure of 3-bromoanisole is this one, having O at third position. So this is your 3-bromoanisole, this 3-bromoanisole, or 3-methoxybenzene, and its general name is 3-bromoanisole. This 3-bromoanisole react with magnesium in presence of THF and ether. So it react with magnesium metal. So here the first reagent is magnesium and salt ether, THM ether. So it says simply the first step is simply the preparation of Grignard reagent, and you are using the non uh, the you are using this solvent, that is polar aprotic solvent, for the preparation of Grignard reagent. So that this THF and ether tetrahydrofuran and ether is the polar aprotic solvent. So in the first step, it's a metal insertion reaction. The first step is it's a metal insertion reaction. This metal, magnesium metal, will introduce in this CBr bond. Okay, so the metal will introduce here. It's a metal insertion reaction, and you will get the organometallic compound. That compound is called as organometallic compound, or it's a organometallic reagent. It's a organometallic reagent. So Br, you will get this Grignard reagent. It's a Grignard reagent. Then the name of this, it's a 3-methoxy phenyl magnesium bromide. The name of this reagent is 3-methoxy phenyl magnesium bromide. Then this 3-methoxy phenyl magnesium Grignard reagent will react with this product of step 1. So it will react with this metal are electropositive, and the carbon which is attached to this metal is that carbon having negative charge. So it say that this will act as a nucleophile. It will act as a nucleophile because this carbon having negative charge. So this will act as a nucleophile, and this Grignard reagent 3-methoxyphenyl magnesium bromide will attack on the carbonyl carbon of this 2-oxycyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid, because this carbonyl carbon is electrophilic in nature. That this carbonyl carbon is electropositive due to electron withdrawing group. So, and there is a high electronegativity difference between oxygen and carbon. High electronegativity difference between uh, uh, your carbon and oxygen. So let me show you periodic table. Here is periodic table. You can really understand the toolbar. Show, magnify, template, and 3D. So this is your Grignard reagent, and this carbon having negative charge. So this negative charge, this carbanion will attack on the carbonyl carbon of this 2-oxycyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid. So it will attack in this way. I will show you how this negative charge. This arrow is not stable. So we are having this arrow. This arrow will attack on carbonyl carbon. Then the next step is this bond will this double bond will break, because double bond having one pi bond and one sigma bond, and so the bond pair shift on oxygen. There is a negative charge on oxygen in the next structure. So you will get this type of structure. Benzene, this OCH3 group as it is, OCH3, OCH3 group as it is. Then this bond between your this is your COOH group, negative charge. So attach here OMGBr, negative charge on oxygen, positive charge on magnesium, OMGBr. Then the next step is you are doing this reaction in presence of aqueous HCl. Aqueous HCl. So the next step is you are simply doing the hydrolysis. So I'm writing arrow here, just a small arrow. So in HCl you are having H plus and Cl minus in that proton, and H, CH3, 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 CH3. So this is your dimethylamine. So this the next step is this dimethylamine will attack on the carbonyl carbon of this acetic acid. Carbonyl carbon of this acetic acid. So in the next step, nitrogen and nitrogen having this 3 bond. This is your on this nitrogen. Then the next step is this O minus. O minus takes this hydrogen and it stabilizes nitrogen. O minus take this hydrogen and convert to OH. So next step, convert to OH, this type of compound. Then the next step is the hydroxy group on the same carbon that will be unstable. So the next step is simply the hydrolysis reaction, simply the loss of water molecule from this compound. So this OH will take the hydrogen. So I will show you how it takes that, how the hydrolysis reaction takes place. So you are doing this, and you are doing this reaction in an acidic medium. Condensation reaction takes place. So this will get this type of compound. Then this OH2 hydrogen So hydrogen and the positive charge on this oxygen, then the simply hydrolysis reaction, so loss of simply this not the hydrolysis, it's a simply dehydration reaction. This group is a leaving group water, so water will loss by this way. So the oxygen, this hydrogen bond pair will shift here, the base take this hydrogen and it will form carbon oxygen double bond, and this is your water is a leaving group, water is a leaving group, and you will get so the next step is in that after the loss of water molecule dehydration, you will get this so here double bond is there between carbon and oxygen. Now you'll get this ketone. Then the next step is this ketone will react with your reducing reagent, that is lithium aluminum hydride, LiAlH4. So it's a reducing aluminum AlH4 compound with lithium aluminum hydride, and this bond will break. When this hydride attack, the hydrogen will add to this carbon and this oxygen bond will break. One bond will break, that is that it having one pi bond and one sigma bond, LiH4. Then again this LiAlH4 will attack on this molecule carbon, it will attack on this carbon, again one hydrogen will add here, and this whole group is your leaving group, that is OLiL4 is a leaving group. OLiL4 is a leaving group, and you will get the final compound, that is your tramadol. So this is your tramadol, and this tramadol is a potent drug, potent analgesic, and it is used in case of severe physical pain. So the synthesis of this synthesis of this tramadol start with salicylic acid, and the IPAC name of the salicylic acid is 2-hydroxybenzoic acid. So this 2-hydroxybenzoic acid on catalytic hydrogenation, reduction of this carbon-carbon double bond into carbon-carbon single bond. It's a reduction reaction, conversion of ethene into ethane, or the conversion of alkane into conversion of alkene into alkane. So it's a simply conversion of alkene into alkane, carbon carbon single bond by using this. So the hydrogen will add like this. So the two hydrogen will add, it reduces CH2. Same where uh, the hydrogen will add on this each carbon, one hydrogen will add on this each six carbon. Then the next step is simply the oxidation of this secondary alcohol by using chromic acid. So chromic acid is the oxidizing agent, so it oxidizes this have secondary alcohol into ketone. So the oxygen having lone pair of electron, that lone pair of electron attack on your chromium, it's the electrophilic chromium, so bond will break. And then O minus, that O minus takes this hydrogen, because this oxygen having three bond, so to stabilize that it takes this hydrogen and it stabilizes that oxygen. The next step is simply this OH having lone pair of electron, that takes one hydrogen, and simply the oxidation of this, and you will get 2 oxycyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid. So this is your first step, the synthesis of tramadol. It's a two-step synthesis. First, the preparation of one reagent, that is 2 oxycyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid, and in the second step you are preparing Grignard reagent. So this 3 bromo anisole or 1 bromo 3 methyl benzene react with Mg ether in presence of THF. So here the it's simply the preparation of Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent is nothing but your RMgX MgCl minus Cl minus. We are using HCl. If even if you are using HBr, then Br minus. So this Cl take this proton, the bond will shift here, and simply the loss of water molecule dehydration reaction, and you will get this dehydrated product. And next step is you will get this carbonyl compound. Then this carbonyl compound on reaction with reducing reagent lithium aluminium hydride. So this lithium aluminium hydride reduces the carbonyl group into CH2. So after the reduction you will get this product. So this lithium aluminum hydride having a 4 hydride uh, atom, so the H minus 4 hydride, so this H minus acts as a strong nucleophile. So this H minus will attack on the carbonyl carbon, the bond will break, pi bond, the bond pair shift on oxygen. And then the next step is again that you are having here ALA, it's not a ALH4, it's a ALH3 now. It's a ALH3, it's ALH3, and ALH3 will attack, the hydrogen will attack, and this OALH2 is leaving group, and you will get this final product, and the name of this final